Hey everybody, James here, and yes, that title is not clickbait. That thumbnail is not clickbait. We got 9 negative feedbacks in a single day from a customer that was pretty angry at us. Now, let me just say this right now off the bat. First of all, with eBay, now with us, we sell 1,000 plus items. It seems to be on average in the past few months that end on one day. Now, there are quite a few people that will buy 2 items, 10 items, 20, 50. There are people that buy over 100 items at once. And the way eBay works, if you guys don't know, because there are not a lot of people that auction off all these at once, and people like to combine orders, and that's what I'm gonna have to do after this tonight, is we go to combine invoices of every single order. So somebody buys 50 items and there's $5 each shipping. They're not going to buy, pay every single item be $5. Combine it, reduce shipping, and move on. But if someone buys, like, let's say 9 items, like we said, 9 negative feedback, 9 items on eBay, and the person gets it, they're not happy with whatever it is, they're having a bad day, there's a miscommunication, whatever, they can leave 9 negative feedback at once. It's not just the per transaction, it's the per items in the transaction, which happened here. It's not like I got 9 negative feedback from 9 different people on one day. That would be a different story. That would be something that I'm failing at if that was really the case. But 9 negative feedback from one person. And just to give you some backstory, talking about combining items and shipping, I go on Sunday nights and combine everybody's things. We put in the item description, every single item description, that you must wait 24 hours to get your combined invoice. It's Sunday night, trying to spend time with family, work all week. But, so I log on and send out invoices. But some people, they buy stuff at, let's say, 3 p.m. and they don't want to wait 24 hours. They do it and they buy all the shipping. Now, what happens is that in this situation, this person actually had 2 different eBay accounts that bought 2 transactions, and they want them both combined. If you see on the negative feedback on the 9 of them, you can see it's 2 different user IDs. So it was a really confusing thing. They had paid for it before. They didn't wait for the invoice as we told them to. Now, usually with that one, it's like, well, when we go to ship, it's like, someone buys 10 items and it's $5 of shipping each. They're not going to pay $50 shipping. We'll refund it there when there, but it's a pain on our end. That's why we say just wait for us to send you a combined invoice. But this person paid it up front, and they paid it off 2 different accounts. So that was different, because if you guys don't know, eBay doesn't allow you to actually do a tracking number for 2 different user IDs for 2 different transactions, because they consider it, you have to have a unique tracking for either one. If it's multiple people of the same user ID, then you can combine it. And if you guys don't know, this is, once again, just like I said, something you probably don't experience like we do with the multiple items. You can't do an invoice over 40 items at once. We have people that they buy 90 items at once. They have to send a 40 card invoice, then they pay it, then you send another 40 card, and then they pay it, and then you send the final 10 item invoice to them to pay. Wish eBay would just allow unlimited amount of items to be paid at once, but they just don't. That's just the way their interface is. But yeah, with this one, it was confusing. I tried to talk to him, and anyway, it came to the point where it's like, okay, well, I will refund you, but you already opened a case. I couldn't refund them because they opened a case. And then, I said, I will refund you I think it was $48 that I had to refund. I said, I will refund you the $48, but I just can't right now because you opened a case. eBay then forced a $48 refund because they saw my message and got it through. So they got the refund. All was good, but eBay is going to keep this feedback there. If you guys don't know, you can go to your seller hub and try to dispute it. And I have successfully disputed some negative feedbacks on there, and they'll remove it. But for this one, they said, no, we think, that's just the way it is. I think I might come back to them and say, hey, look at how they had 2 different user IDs. How am I supposed to combine it if you won't allow me to do the same package on 2 different user IDs, even though they have the same shipping address? Anyway, this is just the complicated eBay stuff that you have to kind of deal with on a daily basis sometimes, especially at this volume. But The point of it is that yes, we got quite a few negative feedbacks. We try to remove it. I can go back and try to tell them that, hey, look at this situation, where it's like that, and can we look at it, and they might just leave it. And hey, this is last part of this video is I'm going to say this is just the way life is, right? People who will go to our eBay page, and you can click on the description, and see our actual eBay page. If you look at that, you are probably going to click on those 20 negative feedbacks. Are you going to click on the 10,710 positive feedbacks? You probably aren't. You probably go to the negative right away, right? Because that's just the way human psychology works. We want to see the negative. If you go to like a Yelp review, you're going to click on the negative ones. You want to see the 1-star, right? You go on the Amazon review, you're going to go to the 1 stars, right? You don't even care about the 5 stars at that point. And that's just the way it works, And, on my end, it does feel worse. Absolutely. To get, I barely, if ever, check the positive feedbacks. But if there's a negative one, I have to go through it, see what went wrong, try to revise it, or try to work with the customer to get them to revise it. Sometimes they're not responsive. Sometimes they're angry. Sometimes they, do revise it. But that's just the way it is. Negatives do feel much different than positives, even in the same, category. It's just math, right? It's just math at that point. You can say like, hey, you have $100, you make 10%, it's 110, you lose 10%, now you're back down to $99. Wait a minute. You just had a 10% gain and a 10% loss, and you started with 100, now you have 99. You lost like 1% of your total that you started with, even though they were both 10%. You can go the opposite way. It's just simple math. You do $100 minus 10%, you have 90, plus 10%, you have 99. Once again, 10% up, 10% down, you lose money. And that's the way the world works, math works, this works, feedback works. People are always going to feel the negative worse on social media, right? You could have 100 positive comments. You could be making social media for like reseller on eBay. It's like, I'm going to a garage sale and I do this and I really put my heart and soul in this, and I look at all the comments and the positive. You're like, oh, positive. But that negative, you kind of stop for a while longer, don't you? And that's just the way it is. And that's just the way you're going to have to in this business, doing volume. You will have customers who will have miscommunications, who will be angry at you. If you're creating social media and trying to build a platform, you will have people who will leave negative comments, and that's just the way it is. It's really, if you look at it like that, 10,000 positive, 20 negative, and of those 20 negative, 9 were in one transaction. That's way more than you're going to do like if you're just in public. What I mean by that is that, if you step in front of a public crowd of 100 people, let's use the 100 example again, and you just stand up on a podium and you say like, hi, my name is blank. Like 30 of those 100 people, 30% of them just aren't going to like you because the way you look, you're bald, you're short, you're too tall, you're skinny, you're fat, you have muscles, you have, muscles. Some people might hate muscles. I don't know. The way you sound, it's like, oh, he's too nasally, just too, I don't like his teeth. I don't like how he says that, I don't like the way anyway, like 30% of people are just not going to like you. And that's just the way it is. So to have kind of that feedback, and remember that when you're trying to build your eBay store and maybe you have 100 positive feedback and then you get that one negative, and now you're at 99% positive feedback. And it's like devastating, right? At that point. But you got to realize that is just so much better than anything in life. If you do better than 99%, 99% on a paper, right? In school, you are the top. Right? I guess you're not the top. There are always those overachievers who do 104%, right? But yeah, you're pretty on the top. And especially with, I'm surprised when I see a YouTube video that I put out. I think 2 of the last 3 I just checked before this because I was talking about negative and positive stuff, had 100% like to dislike ratio. That's unbelievable. I'm surprised when it's like 97, 95%. I've had really, in the past few years when I'm making YouTube videos, I have had some that have been like 92%, and that's like really bad. Like on a dislike, that means a lot of people didn't like it. You see these people who make apology videos, or they did something really bad, and then somebody brigades them. What's that word? Yeah, and it's like 50% negative feedback. I mean, that is unbelievably bad, on the social media realm. But if you look at it in the public space, I mean, you're 99% positive feedback. You're 98%. You did 100 transactions, and then you sold 2 cards to somebody, or 2 widgets, or whatever you have, and that person just wasn't having a good day, and now he leaves 2 negative feedbacks on that one transaction. You have a 98% positive feedback, and it just feels really bad. But just keep going, because it's fine as long as you're a good person and you're doing the right thing. It'll all work out in the end. And maybe I'm just huffing a gargantuan amount of copium right now because I just got 9 negative feedback, and I'm trying to say negative feedback is okay, but maybe I'm not. Maybe I am, and maybe I'm not. I'm trying to make you feel better on that one. Anyway, yes, I did get that many. We'll see if I can, finagle around eBay and see if I can tell them that was a special thing with 2 different usernames with identical shipping addresses that wanted the same shipment to them, that I couldn't do that. But we'll see on that one. I might just keep it, and we'll just keep moving forward, right? Anyway, guys, that's all I have for today. Pretty interesting. You don't get that many. You don't get half of the negative feedbacks that you've had in the past year in one time. So thought I'd bring that to your attention, tell that story, and yeah, that's all I have for today. Thanks again for watching. We'll talk to you again soon.